Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision-crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision-crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Welcome to the frustrated Chicago sports fan. And the way the Bulls ended the season left us what?
Very frustrated, for sure.
Let's talk about that play-in. Is this is the third straight play-in we've participated in it, right? Or fourth straight? Or the third straight? Third straight?
I know it's third, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's third in a row, yeah.
Has every play-in tournament ended with Miami giving us the belt? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoelstra's beaten us in play-ins or playoff series 5 times, right? We ain't beat him once. Spoelstra literally almost
that culture, man.
That he culture. Didn't work too well in game 1 against the Cavs, but let's see what Tyler Herro has. So, what are our thoughts concerning the Bulls' 24-25 season? How do we grade that? Is this a successful season? So I think they won more than what was expected, considering that they moved Levine, they moved on from the Rose in the offseason. They got really hot at the All-Star break. What are your sentiments on the 24-25 Bulls? How do we feel? Was this a successful season or just more the same? It was a season.
Yeah, going into the season, I thought they would be fully in on the tank, and we were wrong.
That's what I expected, and that's what would make sense to an organization that realizes that the product they have and the players part of the organization aren't good enough to win a championship anytime soon.
Yeah. Then I thought once they traded Zach and DeMar, I was like, okay, we're really going to go in on the tank. And they still didn't. Then once they did that, they started winning. So I think the fact that the surge at the end and then we made the play in
again,
kind of a success, I guess.
Well, I will say it's better than the last 3 play-ins because at least you have some type of core. You know, you figure out that Montas is a good player. Yeah. Kobe White, I think will be an all-star next year. I didn't think he was going to be that good, even though he was busted in a play-in game. You also got to sign Giddey. You know what I'm saying? But this is all to move. Like I don't want to go too far in advance, but this is all AK's fault because he didn't have to be in a situation to trade for Giddey. He could have got draft capital for Caruso.
Yeah.
So instead, now you're gonna trade for Caruso. I mean Giddey, and you got Giddey, but you got to sign him to a $30 million a year deal.
Let's start there because this is a very important key to the 24-25 season and the 2025 season. With the trade of Caruso, you said they could have went and got draft capital. Initially, when I found out, the Warriors were off in the first round pick, even though it wasn't, it was like, I think 21, where the Warriors picking, 21, 19, somewhere around that area.
Yeah.
Okay, they offered a first round pick for Caruso. I was on the let's get the draft capital Then we got Giddey, and the prevailing thought was, well, Giddey is a young player who was initially part of the Thunder core, and then Shea and Jalen Williams emerged, and it kind of pushed Giddey to the side. He showed a lot of promise in his first couple of years. Now we get him. He's probably better than anything that was in that draft last year, or anything that we would have got at 21 in the draft this past year. Then Giddey played really good ball down the stretch. I don't think anybody can deny that. He looked like, the guy that OKC picked number 6 and thought could be one of these 6'8" guys who can play the point forward position that's been popularized in the NBA since LeBron came in. But you're saying now with Giddey, you got to sign him to a contract, which you do, because otherwise then you traded Caruso for nothing.
Right.
So you still feel after Giddey's ascension that this is a negative, because you kind of forced. What is Giddey's market value going to be? 30. It's going to be at least 30, right?
Yeah, it's 30 million. Yeah.
And that's the start. He probably will get a little more than 30. But I think Jalen Suggs, what did he sign for? About 35, 36 million a year?
Yeah, he signed a 5-year 150.
Check this out. If you're Giddey's agent, what Giddey's numbers and his size and his passing ability, you're gonna probably want what Suggs got.
Yeah.
I think he's shown as much or more than Suggs in his career thus far.
Yeah.
So I think 30 is the floor. That is the floor. I mean, likely it's going to be more than 30 million. And then Kobe's coming right behind him. And Kobe
that was going to say that's another issue that I have, is that Kobe has outplayed his contract. So now you're gonna have to lay in bed with Giddey, Kobe. And the Montas will come later, but you're basically saying, yo, I'm gonna pay Giddey and Kobe, and most of my salary cap is gonna be toward them two dudes. Are they really, stars?
Most of your salary type guys. Yeah. I don't think so at this point. Although I do like Kobe for the future. If I had to stick with one, it would be Kobe. I mean, the shooting dynamic makes Kobe a necessity. Guys that can shoot are necessities, and Kobe can shoot. He can get a bucket. He can handle the ball. Streaky. So he's streaky, but I think Kobe is just a necessity. He's something that all 30 NBA teams would like. He's 6'5", he's got good size, and he can shoot. Giddey's something that a lot of teams would like, but a lot of teams in today's NBA, your best player is automatically kind of your point guard ball handler. So is Giddey going to be the best player on a lot of teams? You know what I mean? He's 6'8", but it's not like he's a 3-and-D guy per se. For him to be effective, he's got to have the ball in his hands. Right. So essentially, like you said, you're handcuffing your immediate future and your rebuild to Giddey and Kobe, and you're basically saying these are two guys going forward, right or wrong.
Yeah, you're basically saying I'm betting the house on Kobe White and Giddey, and I don't honestly those players.
I wouldn't want to live in that house. That's where we're at.
No, I wouldn't.
And of course, Kobe, when they asked him about his extension, he said, "Oh, I haven't given that any thought."
No, he's why would
I ain't thought about it.
He shouldn't take the extension.
Hasn't crossed his mind.
He wouldn't take the extension. He should go in the market, and he's going to get.
Kobe's floor is going to be about 40 million. I know these numbers seem eye-popping, but if you look at recent contracts, Kobe's floor is going to be 40 million, especially if you predict him being an all-star next year.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say he loves Chicago, so he cleaned it up. Hey, I love Chicago. I don't want to leave.
No, okay. I just don't like AK's. I didn't like his end of the season press conference. I didn't like it. Be patient, like, dude. We've been patient.
We're 6 years in, bro. I just watched the Rockets dismantle their team, and now they're the second seed. Now,
right?
We watched OKC dismantle their team about 2 or 3 times. They're the first seed. What's with the patience, bro? Build a team. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this Kobe Giddey situation, where he's going to be your 1-2, these guys are going to be. I don't want to get too excited about the play-in in modern NBA times, because it's not really the playoffs, one, and number two. this is the most critical thing. If you look at the NBA landscape, it's either teams are contending or they're vying for the lottery. The Bulls, no, but being serious, the Bulls beat a lot of teams, but you look at the East, there's the Cavaliers and Celtics are legit contending. The Pacers and Bucks still have illusions of grandeur and the Knicks. I mean they're in those spots where you can kind of say they're contending, but I don't think they have a realistic shot of coming out the East. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're an injury or two away. Then you got the Pistons in that top 6, and they're ascending. You know, they're seeing if Cade is gonna become a top 10 star. Jaden Ivey join him. A lot of their little pieces. So you get the plan. Everybody else is kind of in a rebuild mode. You know, except for the Bulls, maybe the Hawks. The Hawks are trying to see what their number 1 pick can be paired with Trae Young.
They just fired the GM.
Yeah, Hawks.
Hawks just fired the GM. At least they're making moves. They know that.
Right. But you look at the Nets, the Raptors. They've all made their vision clear. We are trying to win the lottery. So the Bulls beating teams like this down the stretch, what does it really mean? If you can't beat the top teams in the East, if you can't beat the play-in teams in the East, what is this for? Because the NBA landscape has gone from you're either going for it all or you're going for it all with the balls. Pause, Diddy, no Diddy. But that's what it is. You're going for all the lottery balls or you're going for a title. Those are the only, there's no in between. And the Bulls are the only franchise that's really stuck in between for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Even Orlando was 7th. They made the plan, but you can still see Orlando has a future.
I see the vision.
You're right, yeah.
You see Pablo Banchero. He's the number 1 pick. As of now, he's working out. Franz Wagner, another lottery pick. As of now, he's working out. Suggs may have jumped the gun on giving him that big contract, but they still got hopes for him working out. Their core is young and their core is producing. You know what I'm saying?
And tradable.
If they didn't get hurt, they probably would have been in the top 6.
That was their only thing. They both of their stars got hurt. They probably would have been higher. So I mean, you can't.
They got a team full of young guys though.
Lonzo was hurt for us. So
well, that's why we didn't win the play-in. I'm going to blame Lonzo. I'm going to blame Lonzo for us missing the playoffs. You know, them first 36 games with Lonzo, when AK was in his 2nd or 3rd year here, that was the pinnacle of Bulls basketball this decade. It was.
Yeah.
You know, that was a pinnacle of Bulls. We in year 2025. That was the highlight of Bulls basketball this decade. Yeah. And we didn't win a playoff series. I don't understand how Billy Donovan is still employed. When you look at the NBA landscape, coaches are getting fired 2 years after winning the title. And Billy is still here after not winning a play-in, after not winning a playoff series. It's become pretty much ridiculous on the West Side. This is, I don't know what to say. I'd almost like you said, Rick. You say they gotta sign Giddey. I almost say, I mean, we're gonna be stuck in this for the next 5 years unless Montas becomes a superstar.
Yeah.
And not just a star, a superstar. We're going to be stuck in this for the next few years because this Giddey Kobe thing is kind of reminiscent of Levine DeRozan. They're going to do enough to get us to around 40 games. This is DeRozan, Levine part 2.
Or we'd have to get super, super lucky and get a good draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things
that's our saving grace.
One of the saving grace about losing the play-in is that you're in the lottery. You're in the lottery, so I mean,
but you're at the back end of the lottery. Your chance. I mean, Atlanta won it from here, but what's our chance of getting a top 3 pick? Less than 8%.
Top 4, we got an 8% chance.
Jesus.
Number 1, we got 1.7. We got a chance.
So I haven't looked at all the prospects. This does look like a much better draft this year than this past year. But as far as I've seen, the 3 guys that I felt that could be guys that can be dudes you can build around, we're probably not gonna have a chance at. I'm talking Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Cooper Flack. Is there anybody else that y'all know of in this draft that could be a building block, not just a guy?
Jeremiah Fears. Well, he a point guard.
Yeah, Jeremiah Fears is nice. He's decent.
He's legit.
That's pretty much because I just watched the tournament.
Danny Wolf, senior, Michigan.
Nah, I didn't like.
If he's a senior in this day and age,
yeah.
Oh, he's a senior.
He's not the guy.
Oh,
yeah. If he's a senior, he is who he is.
Yeah.
If anything, you know what's crazy is that like this year's draft, this got Cooper Flagg and Bailey and Harper, but next year's draft is really top heavy. You got Boozer's son, you got Caden Boozer.
Yeah, they'll be in next
you
year.
got
Carmelo Anthony's son.
Carmelo Anthony. You got the dude from BYU. What's his name? He like a T-Mac clone.
Yeah.
That year, the 2026 draft, that's going to be the one that's loaded.
But are we gonna tank?
That's what I need for us to do because we need to get draft capital.
So this would be devastating to the Bulls brand, but would it be better just to let Giddey walk? Can you do that and look the fans in the face?
Which means you traded Caruso for nothing,
right? Yeah.
Which means AK would have to openly admit that he messed up.
No, he ain't gonna do that.
Hell no. That's a hell no. Yeah, like he would. That's admitting that he messed up by because he let Caruso walk for nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna sign Giddey, you let him walk for nothing. So, I mean, there's a lot of internal, external issues that the Bulls have. One of the things that they need to focus on, at least find a direction. And I understand that in the other podcasts, I said had some takes or whatever, but seriously, they need to have a direction, like low key, like on some real stuff. They need to find a direction. Like pick a side.
Yeah, Utah, Washington, Charlotte,
they all picked a lane.
Philly, not even.
They declared it early.
Yeah,
and Philly. Shout out to the tank gods, Philly, because once they realized, boy, I looked up. They had passed the Bulls. Had to be January, December. They were about 500. Everybody was like, "Here comes Philly," and then Philly was like, "And B still hurt." Nah,
they got a 10% chance at number 1 pick now.
Adding on to what they had.
Exactly.
and 10% at number 1, but the odds increase at number 2, number 3, number 4. Philly's not going to leave the draft any lower than 5.
Right. They're going to get a top.
So they're going to get a young stud.
On top of the fact, they had a rookie of the year candidate with Jared.
Right.
They shut him down.
He got hurt.
So then he got hurt. Dude, they're going to be loaded.
Philly got a 42% chance at a top 4 pick. I don't see the balls landing in the Bulls' favor. Pause.
So Philly next year is returning Tyrese Maxey.
Crazy.
Jared, the rookie of the year candidate. Paul George, Embiid. If those guys can get their heads out their asses, but they got a nice roster on paper. I mean, we know sometimes paper doesn't matter, but on paper, they've got the guys.
Yeah.
So review 24. Nobody is happy with the 2024 Bulls season because you end up same place we've been the last 3-4 years. What is your outlook for 25? I think I kind of know where it is, but what is your outlook for 2025 with this core, with this team?
Can we dump Vooch? Is that possible?
I think Vooch is good as gone from what I hear. I think Vooch is pretty much he's played his last Bulls game. Whether they get anything of value for him,
right? Yeah.
I mean, I think the best you're going to get for Vooch now is a couple second-round picks. I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
Just because teams know we don't want him, just like with Levine, they know we don't want him, and we have no leverage with Vooch. So you're going to be looking at a couple second-round picks, and you're going to get a G League guy and a Europe guy who you may never see in the NBA. But I mean, we don't seem to be able to land the Nikola Jokic's in the second round. We don't land the SGAs at number 11. Right. We land Pat Williams at number 4.
And you can't trade him.
Well, that's AK's saving grace. He's
that contract is not going anywhere. I'm gonna tell you one thing: Pat is gonna be here for 5 years, or you're gonna eat that contract. There is nothing in between. So you better get used to Pat Williams. Whatever he does well, you better amplify it. And I don't know what he does well besides standing there and running to the corner and sometimes hitting the three. And I'm tired of that little blonde patch in his head. He needs to dye it. I don't care if it's natural. But when you talk, I don't like anything about you. All your features look bad. Like all your features that irritate me.
I think that's health related. I don't think you can change that, man.
I don't care. It irritates me now. If he was hitting shots, it'd be cool. But now you just look stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, if he was a player, it definitely looked cool.
Yeah, that Pat Williams is a contract that is AK. This is not looking good. And I was a big AK fan when he first got here. I really thought he was like gonna be like a Theo and bring, just like Theo brought the Cubs into the modern era of baseball and analytical.
Also, in Bulls news, they also fired their shooting coach.
It's his fault.
And the Bulls are shooting good and from three. Like, they fired him.
I heard that, and I also heard, I mean, there's no names put to it, but I heard the Bulls players were not happy about it.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because the Bulls, this has been the best Bulls shooting team we've seen in forever. I mean, I don't want to compare eras because the 3-pointer is much more relevant. But this has been the best Bulls 3-pointing team that we've seen. And so why did he get fired?
The article says AK made a decision to fire director of player development / shooting coach guru Peter Patton after the loss to Miami in Wednesday's playing game, leaving a core of current players beyond pissed, as one said in the text. Coach Pete was the real deal, messed up. Not just smoke coming from the locker room for the wildly popular Patton, but a full fire. Kobe, Patrick, Dalen Terry, Giddey, and Matas all publicly praised the work they put in with Patton and the benefits they had on their game. So a guy that's spoken of so highly by, and Matas just got there.
Right.
He already speaking highly.
That's supposed to be your cornerstone.
And you fired the guy. I don't understand that.
And you fired him.
I mean, that's classic Bulls. That is Bulls. That has been Bulls since I've been a kid. Getting rid of popular people in the organization that seem to be helping. That is on brand. They do not want happy employees.
The shooting coach fault because they shot bad in playing. So gotta blame somebody.
Somebody has to be blamed.
So a lot of the players got better than their career averages.
Yeah. Well, maybe not Pat.
Well, Dalen Terry did.
Yeah, he was actually hitting some shots this year.
Think about Matas' rookie year. He shot 36%, which is
they were saying he couldn't shoot.
Right. That was the knock on him. That was the knock on him coming in, that he was not a shooter, and he developed quickly. So let's see if those guys take a regress. I mean, it'll serve the Bulls right. I mean, if those guys regress as shooters next year, we know where to pin the blame. Speaking of next year, let's analyze some of these players. You've already said, Rick, that you expect Kobe White to be an all-star next year. Where do we see guys like Dalen Terry, Matas? Where do we see their development next year? Where should their development be next year?
I've been on the record in saying Dalen Terry could be a 3-and-D guy, which is good. Like those, you need those in the league. But if he's shooting 36 this year, he could potentially bump it up to 39. If he does that, that's a win. Matas, I see next year, if I can give his averages, I could see 17, 7, and 3.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? I think Matas could take a leap. Like, you gotta think when he got a lather counter, when he got a lather, he was getting buckets. Like, you know what I'm saying, the second half of the season. Matas is not a bad player. In fact, like everyone's saying, you poop for Coop, but Matas is right now better than Cooper Flag. It's arguably. It's not like hands down.
So if you could trade Matas for the first pick, you wouldn't do it.
I would do it. But
he's better.
But no, there's a reason for that, because the first pick can you can garner other stuff besides the first round pick.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you might be able to get an additional pick or whatever. But I mean,
I've heard the Matas better than Coop, equal to Coop things. I haven't watched enough Cooper Cup to make that determination. I just think Cooper's a little bit more rugged of a player, and I know he's younger. I think there's a little bit more polish to his game.
He's
right
taller.
now.
Cooper looked taller than Matas.
So you think Matas could go from 8 points a game to 17?
Yeah, it's not hard.
I don't think that's unrealistic because I think Matas is going to get a lot more opportunities.
Oh yeah, he will get a lot of ticks.
Yeah, who else is going to score the ball?
Right. He's going to get the shots. Vooch is going to be gone. And in fact, I mean, if Matas is not doing above 16 next year, I'd be really disappointed. And I mean, unless the Bulls landed a star, which the Bulls never do, so we don't have to worry about that. Right. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be the third guy. He should, and Giddey is more of a distributor. Matas, I wouldn't be surprised if Matas averaged 19, especially, I mean, with the pace and play that the Bulls have been pushing. I'm not saying the 19 is going to be great because, I mean, there's different ways to look at 19 in today's game. There's guys that are efficient with their 19. There's guys that's chucking it up and getting to 19. Right. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Tobias Harris put up 19. I don't consider Tobias a scorer. You know what I'm saying? You got Powell running around. What did Powell just average? 22, 23?
Yeah. Norman Powell?
Yeah, 24.
Powell with the Clippers.
Norman Powell, 24.
Yeah, so, yeah, Norman putting up 24. So I look at it as not just the points, but how are you doing it efficiently? Are you impacting on the defensive end? You know what I'm saying? Are you providing space? And are you, driving? Is everything efficient? So I want to see Matas just not just with the points, but I want to see his game develop. I want to see him. He's got the length. He's got pretty good athletic ability. I want to see, does he make a leap as a defender? All those. So I agree with Rick. He should do 17 at least. Lord knows he's going to have the opportunities with this team.
Yeah, he definitely going to have the opportunity.
He should run away with most improved then. If he make a leap by that much, he should at least be a finalist for MIP.
If Kobe didn't get it after last year, I don't know. I don't know how they do MIP. I mean, Kobe, I think he's a candidate for MIP again, but I think his overall points per game is only like 20. Even though post All-Star break, I think Kobe was averaging like 29. But the totality of the season, he still had to share shots with Zach early on. So, so you expect Matas to make a leap. Is there anybody that has any hope? Pat Williams is only 23. Is there any? Don't laugh. I'm serious.
Still young.
He's still young. Is there any chance, Pat, it clicks?
No. Sorry. I mean, I know we're in a podcast, but
he only been in the league 3 years. He was hurt 1 year. That year don't count.
It hasn't clicked yet. Like there's people in it. There's people that is in his ilk that have already surpassed him and lapped him. There's people that haven't in his ilk have lapped him, and he still hasn't increased.
I really feel like Dalen Terry is passing him off. Yeah, I feel like he's being passed up by Dalen.
Getting better, Dalen Terry.
Yeah, sure. Dalen Terry's showing some promise.
There's times where I'm more comfortable with Julian Phillips on the court than Pat Williams.
Yeah.
Only because I know what I'm going to get from Julian Phillips.
Yep. At least
I know what I'm getting from Julian Phillips.
He looks to be aggressive most of the time, more often than Pat.
And Pat has the tools. He has the athleticism. He has
It sure doesn't show up, and his defense has regressed. I thought at the end of the day when we signed Pat initially, I thought, okay, when he's healthy, if the offense does not develop, we're at least going to have a top-level defender. I thought the floor for Pat Williams might be Luol Deng at first.
You ain't getting
That's what I thought his floor was. He ain't nowhere near Luol Deng.
Nah.
Let me ask y'all this. Are they firing Billy D? Hall of Fame?
No.
So
Billy D could win 20 games.
What they waiting for?
I mean, how many years did it take to fire Gar Forman? Gar should have been fired after half a season. Remember, dude put a time clock up there for them to punch in.
Yeah, that was
whatchamacallit?
That was Boylan.
Yeah, Boylan.
I'm sorry. I get mediocre front office Bulls guys and coaches always confused. I'm sorry, Boylan, and that's the second Boylan we had. Jim Boylan had a time clock.
Had 2 Boylans.
Right, we had 2 Boylans, both bad. Boylan had a time clock for them to punch in, and he was the same buffoon that was calling timeouts down 20, less than 20 seconds left, calling it an opportunity to teach.
Yeah, speaking of Dang, I don't think Pat is gonna. Dang, 2-time All-Star, and he made all defense one year. I don't see Pat doing that.
and I thought Dang's defense was a little bit overrated. I can't even rate Pat's defense. I mean, this year he took a step back on the defensive end.
Dang was second team all defense. Chandler, Rondo, Garnett, Dang, and Kobe. I don't see Pat making all the defense team. It ain't gonna just magically happen this year. We would have had to see it progress over the year. Like, hey man, he trash, but he a good defender. He was shutting people down.
Dude, he is only 23. He'll be 24.
Yeah, next season he'll be 24.
He's young. He's not much older than some of these cats that are going to be coming into the draft this year. Most of these cats coming in at 20. Pat ain't much older, and Pat is already developmentally behind. It's crazy because Pat is developmental wise. He's behind some of these rookies and second year players.
But it's crazy. We saw him at Summer League second year. He was killing, which he should be second year Summer League. It's your second year Summer League. You should be way better than you was before. I
just don't understand why he gets on the floor and it's just stiff. I mean, literally, he sits in the corner. He doesn't even shoot that bad from 3, but it's like it's not aggressive. You sit in a corner and you get your 1.5, 2.5 shots. You do it. You. I mean, there's nothing. He hasn't developed really a drive, any moves. I mean, I don't.
He's not a great finisher at the rim either. Like somebody put out a compilation of how many dunks he be missing at the rim. If you got that,
for a guy that is supposed to have athleticism, you don't. Yeah, the not finishing at the rim or amongst the trash or the bodies under it's just brutal. I mean, and that one pick makes me. Who was AK picked, drafted that has you could say AK is a good talent evaluator?
Julian Phillips. Hey,
is that his best pick?
Matas.
Yeah, Matas.
Io. What about Io?
Io was good. Io was good.
Okay, Io's a good second round pick.
It was second round. You weren't expecting nothing from Norway.
We had that at the second round, but he gone.
I mean, at the you said who?
We had was that when AK was there? That was 2019.
No,
Garpax
was there.
Oh, okay.
AK got rid of Gafford. AK had Gafford. He got rid of him.
That wasn't his man. Garpax draft.
Which is crazy because that's exactly what this team has needed: a defensive presence at the rim. And AK got rid of him. That was one of the most perplexing moves to me. An athletic big, which is exactly what we don't have. And then he signed Jalen Smith. How's the Jalen Smith, Javon Carter signings going? I'm trying to find a silver lining in this Bull season and going forward.
I can't, dude. I mean, the silver lining is that Billy adapted and he played more free open lane ball and they shot more threes, but they got rid of their 3-point coach.
Yeah.
They're shooting doctor. Like, dude, like they were shooting great, shooting volume threes, and then you got rid of them. I don't know. I'm disturbed.
Javon Carter was 33% from 3 this year.
Javon Carter was what?
33%.
Dude,
On three attempts a game.
He with us. I'm sagging off.
3 attempts a game.
I'm sagging off.
He wasn't getting a lot of attempts.
Shoot that. Hell no.
3 attempts. He shouldn't get that many attempts. He should have got his 3 if he's shooting 30. I see guys at LA Fitness shoot better than that. So Javon Carter is small, not a great athlete, not a great facilitator, not a great scorer, not a great shooter. And how many more years be here for? We got 2 more years of Javon Carter, right?
Yikes.
I think Javon might be here another year.
Yeah, he's here till 25, 26, got a player option. He signed 3 years, 20 mil.
So AK,
right?
You know Pat Williams, his nickname is the Paul. Oh.
Yeah, remember they was comparing him to Kawhi. He's supposed to be baby Kawhi. And Kawhi is the claw, so.
All right, so nobody likes anything about this past Bull season or this future Bull season. So
I got rid of Zach. I like that. I mean,
yeah, and him and I'm just looking at the Kings brass. What the fuck what made y'all think that this is going to work out in Sacramento? What made them get DeRozan and Levine?
Right.
You got rid of De'Aaron Fox to bring DeRozan and Levine in? Did y'all not see the Bulls basketball the last 3-4 years?
You got your star saying, man, all we need is a point guard. That's what Sabonis saying.
Y'all got rid of a point guard, yeah.
Dude, they had Fox, they had Davion Mitchell, Heat coacher, and they had some other guard too. They
drafted Halliburton. They had Halliburton, right?
They had Halliburton too. Yeah,
they had Halliburton. They traded him out for a half year or a full year, a year and a half.
Yeah, he thought he was going to be there for a while.
Who won that Halliburton Sabonis deal?
Indy.
Only because East is weak.
Yeah.
But Sabonis is I mean, he would be an all-star in the East.
Yeah. Now they saying I think the odds for the next team he go to, the lowest odds is Indiana now. I'm like, he just came from there. He ain't finna go back.
Sabonis they saying going back to Indiana?
That's what the odds are saying. Like if you betting on what team he's gonna play for next.
That is a perfect segue. Sabonis' name has been leaked to the Bulls, and it wouldn't surprise me. AK getting a Euro.
Joker too. That's who picked.
Joker is absolutely not coming to Chicago.
I
wish.
AK.
You know what? If we did get Joker, he's like 30, and if Joker wants to play that long, he'd be 36.
Sorry, yes. What Rick said, because the Bulls tend to get guys when they're washed. Yes, right. Jokic will come. Jokic will not be here in his prime. Jokic will be here at 37, 38. You know,
on his
chasing records, chasing his all-time standing in assists and rebounds and
triple doubles.
Yeah, while playing for the Bulls and dragging us to the play-in again. I can see that. Some names I've seen in the rumor mill, whether this is legit or not, linked to the Bulls. Sabonis is one. Zion Williamson is another.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Photoshop Zion and Bulls jerseys.
Yeah,
Zion to Chicago would be such a Chicago thing to do because it's a big name who can get empty calories. Because I think a lot of Zion's numbers are empty calories. Not a good rebounder. That would be something the Bulls would do. Get a big name in here, get to the play-in again, get the fans excited, and Zion get hurt and play 50 games a year, 50, 40 games a year.
A healthy Zion can't get us to the playoffs?
No, he can't get the Pelicans to the playoffs.
Well, he wasn't never healthy, though. I think he could do it if he's healthy. Him staying healthy is the question.
Him staying healthy is a myth.
I think he should be able to do it in the East.
What have we learned from Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo is injury prone, but Lonzo isn't as talented as Zion.
No, he's not. But relying on these guys who have shown you year after year their body's going to break down, I don't think it's the plan. I don't think you'll ever see a Zion that can stay not fat, not devouring strippers, and playing, and these Chicago thoughts will eat Zion up. Come on now. He'll get 3 of them pregnant.
His injuries don't even be that crazy though. He be having a half strain and be out for 3 months.
You want to put Zion in Chicago with access to mild salt, pepper, and fried hard, and with the skeeziest scumbucket stripper thoughts, and the type of weed we got out here, and you think he's gonna stay under 300 pounds?
Yeah, Zion got to go to.
And I'm not saying Zion definitely does drugs, but he's an NBA player. You know the type of weed and hoes we got out here? This is not going to be the city for Zion. Absolutely not. You think that guy's going to be able to focus?
Couldn't focus in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's crazy because you think at this point Zion would have woke up like, yo, man, I need to straighten up, man. They might get rid of me, but that it ain't clicked for him either.
He don't care.
He's still coasting along like everything all good.
He making money.
Right.
He can dunk every now and then. Zion's gonna get paid somewhere. He's gonna be fool's gold, and we're the fools. So,
I could definitely see that too.
If he get traded, that might that'd be the wake up. All right, man, I gotta really get my life in order. I gotta drop weight.
You got a very optimistic point of view. Zeke, I love your optimism. I ain't buying it. Zion ain't waking up.
He's a great player, man. When healthy, but he gotta. That's something internal he got to deal with. Remember when was that? Wasn't that a Christmas game when they somebody asked him about food and he didn't want to answer.
Yeah,
he said the media was gonna take it the wrong way or something.
Because they definitely try to set him up.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Anthony Davis to come back to Chicago with 36. That one is coming. I called Dwayne Wade coming, and his lady Anthony Davis will be here. He'll be here. This Mavs tour probably ain't gonna go the way he wants it to do, and he'll come here. You know, Chicago is a rest haven for guys from the city once they burn out. Jabari Parker, Dwayne Wade. It's Anthony Davis's turn to get a bloated contract and come here before he goes to China.
How many more years he got left?
The way he played, 3, 4.
No, I mean on this contract. They got him to 27. Damn, he making too much money.
And that's why he'll be traded to the Bulls.
27, 28, he making 62 mil.
Hey.
Early termination option 24, 25, but he ain't. Oh yeah, no, he ain't coming here. That's too much money. Maybe.
You know what? The Bulls have only paid one guy $100 million, right?
Who?
Zach LaVine, right?
Oh, LaVine.
Yeah. D-Rose? No, D-Rose didn't get 100.
I think that was before the contracts got super inflated. I don't think D-Rose got 100. I think he might have just been under 100, like 95 million.
Yeah, maybe that.
But yeah, Zach is.
Yeah, Bulls don't want to pay nobody no way.
So no Anthony Davis.
Nah. Let's wrap this up. I'm getting depressed. Just thinking about this. Just thinking about this, bro.
Is there light at the end of the tunnel for the Bulls? We gotta see how the draft go.
They got to get lucky, like Rick. What do you think? It's got to be something where they land the next SGA, a guy that slips to those double digits, the next Kawhi Leonard, Paul George type. Hell, even Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was what, 14, 17?
He's like 29.
Oh, you're right, because the Bulls were good back then. They got to. But Jimmy took about 3-4 years to develop.
He's 30.
30. I'm sorry. I think Matzah's is the way because he's 11. So
yeah.
And then this year, hopefully they can hit on another guy.
You've already said y'all.
Huh?
You said y'all like you jumping ship.
No. I'm frustrated. That's all. It's cute.
Yeah. I don't see Utah, Washington, Charlotte, New Orleans, and Philly not getting a top pick. That would take extreme luck. Yeah.
So
if we get top 4, I'll be happy. I don't know, man.
What is Lauri Markkanen a free agent this year? Is this Lauri's free?
I read that he like Utah. He wants to stay there.
Yeah, I read that. He like that. We gave up on him.
Is there anybody that the Bulls can land that you're pulling for via trade availability? I mean, Giannis said he liked Chicago a couple years ago. That Milwaukee thing is dying.
If they get knocked round one, I don't think Giannis is leaving.
You said if they lose in round one?
Yeah, if they get knocked out, I don't see him. Hey, I want to trade. I don't see that happening.
You sure? I don't think this Giannis Milwaukee thing is gonna. I don't think this union is gonna last much longer.
He gonna give it one more shot at least.
He seemed like a really loyal dude. Like
I don't even know if we got the resources to trade for Giannis if he did demand to be a trade. Not just resources in terms of
we have to give up the whole team.
They're definitely gonna ask for Kobe and Matas.
Oh yeah. They gonna say the Bulls gonna say they untouchable. even with Giannis on the table, they'll say they untouchable.
Wasn't it Luol Deng that was a sticking point in the Kobe trade years ago? I mean, that wasn't all the Bulls' fault. That wasn't all the Bulls' fault because it comes out Kobe wanted to play with Luol Deng. That whole Kobe situation makes me mad over and over again because I'm so sick of the damn Lakers. Why didn't they just trade him to the Bulls where he wanted to go?
Can't ever do that. Lakers gotta get their man. Carmelo.
The Lakers will be out the playoffs soon too. They can enjoy both of their men. I don't see that. My concern with the Lakers was I said on the other podcast, I just don't know with the way LeBron currently plays and with the way Luka defends, how long they would last in the playoffs. So I think they disagree with me, but they got the belt game one. Now will they bounce back? I mean, Luka and LeBron are playoff tested veterans, but I just don't think when you put both those two guys out in a starting lineup, and then you got Austin Reeves, who's an okay defender. I mean, he's scrappy, but when you got three of those guys, and you're gonna get exposed on the perimeter a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, man, we got a lot to look for.
we got to pray for that lottery pick.
Yeah, man.
Man, is that where we're at? There's nothing you can see realistically being added to bring some excitement and put the Bulls in the top 4 in the East next year.
Top 4.
Top 4.
Come on, free agents dying to come here.
I can't even come up with
we ain't got enough assets to trade.
No, and I mean the assets we do have to trade, we need. Like Kobe is a good asset because he's got 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, next year is his last year.
And he's not getting paid much. I mean, Kobe White might be the most underpaid player in the NBA right now. 3-year, $42 million deal for that type of production. The problem is, like, if you trade Kobe, then you have nothing else. Or if you trade Matas, then you trade in a way your cornerstone for the future. So it's not just that we don't have anything to trade. It's the tradable assets we need. So unless somebody's going to take Pat and Vooch and give us something.
Right. Send us on, Q.
Yeah. Let's play for
all right. Frustrated Chicago sports fan. As you see, we're frustrated. It hasn't been a very good show. Thankfully, it's the last Bulls review of the season. I see y'all in about a month when we find out what a lottery is. Maybe, fingers crossed, if we get a top 3 pick, then we might have a little bit of excitement going into the offseason. But that's where we're at right now. See red. We out of here.
Top 3, they're going to say it's rigged if we get top 3.
Hey, that's okay. San Antonio will keep getting the top pick, so.
Right.
Man.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say 3 things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.